Hey everyone, this is DJ Honeyflow. Welcome to the Honeyflow Talk Show. Welcome YouTube, Facebook, and of course, my home base here, which is Twitch. If you guys are listening on any of those platforms, and we also have on the DJ's platform as well, DJ See No Evil 209 on his platform on Facebook and also Twitch too. So welcome. If you guys are listening on his platform, we're actually on my page. So feel free to listen there, but you're going to see more comments here on the DJ Honeyflow Talk Show channel. That is the name on Twitch, DJ Honeyflow Talk Show channel. So make sure you guys make your way down. And if you're listening on YouTube and Facebook, welcome. And make sure you drop a comment for me to let me know that you're listening on Facebook. Now, I just want to let you guys know this is such an incredible, inspirational story. We're going to get into it a little bit later on in this show, but I'm really honored to have the next DJ and guest on. He does an incredible show. I love his West Coast vibe. It's like this chill, laid back, lowrider type of vibe that we don't have here in Canada. Well, I'm sure we do have lowriders, the cars, but we don't really have that vibe like the West Coast. There's nothing like the West Coast vibe. So when I listen to his shows, he plays some oldies, some disco, some funk, hip hop, R&B, some of his shows. And it's really interesting with his story because he's the first DJ that I've met that DJ's blind. And I can't fathom that. Like when I was watching him, I was so impressed just how he was mixing and how he was turning the knobs. I can't even, get the chat room. I miss a lot of messages in the chat, and also, just trying to mix too. It takes a lot to DJ and to mix. So I thought it was really cool seeing him. And we're definitely going to ask him how he does all these things. So make your way down to DJ Honeyflow Talk Show on Twitch. We're here live. And more people will start coming in, I'm sure, as well. I have footage of some of his footage as well that I'm going to be playing on later on in the show. He's actually new to Twitch too, guys. I got to ask how long he's been on Twitch, but has just been a little bit. So make sure you guys are adding him, DJ See No Evil 209. So let's bring him in all the way from Cali, the West Coast. Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
Good. Thank you for joining us as well, joining me.
Yeah, the beginning music, I'm sorry, but it had me twerking a little bit over here in my chair.
Okay. Yeah, that's okay. So where are you actually originally from? Like, I know you mentioned California, and whereabouts in California are you guys from?
I stay in Modesto, California, the valley here in Northern California.
Oh, Northern California. I'm trying to figure out in my brain, like, how far is that from LA, would you say?
From LA, I believe it's about 5, 6 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes,
What
I'm
about
about I'm
oh,
about an hour from Sacramento and about an hour from the Bay Area. Well, depending on what part of the Bay Area. The
oh,
closest
okay.
part of the Bay Area, I'm about 40 minutes.
Oh, oh, 40 minutes from San Francisco, like the Bay Area, right? Or is it San Francisco?
Yeah, well, Livermore starts Bay Area closest to me, but San Francisco, I'm about an hour and I want to say about 10, 15 minutes away, depending on traffic.
Okay. What would you say that, your area has to offer? Like for someone, I'm from Toronto, Canada, so I've been to LA and San Francisco and like a few places, San Diego, but I'm not entirely familiar. So what would you say your area has to offer or is
As
kind of known for?
I would say it's known for in the Modesto area, besides honestly, besides the crime, I honestly can't say. I mean, there's not really much here in Modesto. I mean, besides like the lowriders, we got a lot of the lowriders here in Modesto. I
Oh,
do
that's
DJ.
cool.
I do DJ a lot of the lowrider events when I'm not doing an event already scheduled. during that day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Were you like really into cars and stuff? Like growing up?
I've always loved cars. I've always loved lowriders. One of my favorite cars well, I had a '62 Chevy Impala, but
Hmm.
one of my cars or actually, my two favorite cars was a '53 five window Chevy pickup or a '47 Chevy Fleetline.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. And like, how would you say DJing the car shows? How are those? That would be so dope doing a low rider show.
Yeah, honestly, I love it. I have fun, and it's amazing. Like for example, I DJ'd graffiti nights, a big cruising night over here for the lowriders and hot rods, and
Hmm.
I had DJs one of those not too long ago, and I was right next to, I believe it was Street Low magazines,
Okay.
and they had no clue that I was blind. And one of the guys, I remember, he was saying, it's, you don't look like you're blind, and I kind of laughed and said, I was like, I didn't know you had to look a certain way to be blind.
Yeah, that is so true. And are you like 100% can't see it, like even a little bit of light, or could you see like shadows or kind of
No,
images?
all I see is pitch black.
Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, and you definitely don't. Like I think if anyone comes to your show, they wouldn't even like realize unless if you mention something.
Yeah, I think that's where I got my name too, DJ See No Evil.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about your name. Like, how did those pieces come together? DJ See No Evil. Like,
Well, one,
just with the name.
because being that I'm completely blind, but another part of it is because of having faith and everything I went through and everything, just the whole situation. Having the light, having faith, having God on your side. I literally don't see no evil. To me, I know there's a lot going on, but I just choose not to see that part.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. That is awesome. We got DJ Frank C in the building. We got your tribe coming through. DJ 310 SoCal. We got Tricarious. Good to see you. DJ Tom Tom as well. He's definitely a West Coaster you got to link up with. Great guy. I mean, he's out of Texas, but he's definitely got that kind of vibe going on. We got Sonia in the building. Good to see you. This girl, Xtina, my girl, my sis. Make sure you guys add her. This girl, Xtina, she does an amazing playlist show. Uh, and she would be great to link up with too. She does some really like amazing playlist show on Friday nights. So just an idea, not to put both you guys on the spot, but a West Coast playlist show would be kind of dope, or like a lowrider playlist show, but just an idea, But make sure you guys are adding this girl, Xtina, and he's relatively new to Twitch, you guys. So make sure everyone in the room is adding him. If you're on his pages, welcome everyone. DJ See No Evil, all the tribe from his Facebook page and Twitch page. We're here live on DJ Honeyflow Talk Show, that channel on Twitch. So make your way down here because you're going to see pretty much all of the comments here as well. Oh, hey, oh, snap. We just got a raid. Oh, wow. DJ Crush. DJ Crush. Do I sound like a ghost? My mods hate when I do the echo. They think it's creepy. How you doing? Okay, I'll stop. How you doing, DJ Crush? Wow, thank you so much for the raid. Much love to you. That's awesome. I was hoping we would get a raid today for DJ See No Evil. So bless up to you. Thank you so much. Make sure everyone in the room is adding DJ Crush AZ. Welcome, Raiders. Good to see all you guys. This is going to be a really remarkable show and a really inspirational story. And I'm actually really excited because I really feel like DJ See No Evil is giving me courage to kind of change my show a little bit. And he's really the first guest, I believe, out of close to 300 people I've interviewed in the last 4 years. I really believe that tonight or today, he's actually going to help me. He doesn't know it yet, but he's going to actually change the whole vision of my show moving forward, to bring more inspirational stories and stories that actually really make a difference. So welcome Raiders. Appreciate you guys. We got DJ Frank C, The Skrillextina, Tricurious, DJ Crush AZ, Marcelina. Let's see here. I'm sure I'm missing people. Sonia, and everyone else that's come through. PBD or DJ Darren as well in the building. Who else do we have here? DJ Tom Tom. And yeah, and everyone else that's come through, welcome. Thanks for coming through. Make
I,
sure you,
I I
yeah,
appreciate everybody that's getting on. I mean, a lot of these people I know personally that I'm on the rate trains with and everything. So I appreciate everybody that's getting on.
yeah, for sure. We got DJ Tonga Kid. Yeah, a lot of new faces as well here. So make sure you guys are adding DJ See No Evil. He's relatively new to Twitch, and feel free to hit the follow tab only if you're digging the vibe on this channel as well. All right, so let's definitely get back here. So we were talking about kind of California and the lowrider events that you've done. So were you doing them before the accident as well, or did these lowrider events happen after the accident?
Well, I always known a lot of people from the lowrider events, like my oldest son's godfather. He, he's best friend with the one of the main co-founders of the Impalas, and I always knew the whole community, the lowrider communities. But
Hmm.
since my after my incident, I call it an incident because it was something that could have been avoided for the
Hmm.
situation. But after my incident and after I started DJing, they pretty much dug my vibe and they liked it. And that's when they started having me DJ a lot of their events.
Now, do you like ever announce, or do they ever announce that you're, I guess they don't, that you're blind? Like they just let you DJ and do your thing, or do they actually announce it to people? Because I think people would, because sometimes you get some hard people coming up to you DJing, right? Like, I don't want to hear that song, or they're all grumbling, they may not realize, like,
Actually, at the lowrider events, actually haven't got one person complaining because
wow.
they like a lot of funk, a lot of old school oldies, freestyle, and but I got none but complaints when I do the lowrider events. The only time I've gotten, which I have some funny moments, but the only time I have gotten somebody that got upset with me, he came up to me, he was talking to me, and I was trying to catch the next beat, trying to figure out the next song, but I was trying to listen to him in the same time. And
Yeah.
at the end of the night, he came up to me, he apologized, and he was telling me the story, and he wanted to give me $100 tip because he felt bad, but he had told his
Aw.
wife, he goes, you know what, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna hit that DJ up after the night's over because he's being disrespectful. He's not looking at me when I'm talking to him, and so he thought it. And his wife's the one who told him he's blind, he can't see you, and that made him feel like real bad.
Wow. Yeah, you never really know. Like, it's really interesting, like, with all of us as human beings, a lot of times we could prejudge. I know I've done that. I've done that tons, right? And especially like online, and, you may have assumptions or things in your mind, but you really don't know. You really, really don't know someone's story, what they've gone through, or so yeah, even I can see that, like, if you're not looking at the person, or you're just busy and into trying to like play the music because you need to concentrate, right? Whether you can see or not, like, DJing takes a lot of concentration and multitasking. So I could kind of see how that assumption could have been made, but that's awesome that he gave you $100 tip. I mean, I would have asked for 200. You should have asked for 200.
Trust me, I wasn't
Yeah.
complaining.
Yeah, $100. Shoot, man. That's amazing.
But
Um,
I have gotten people that will call, and I have to say the most rudest one
mhm.
was this lady. A lady happened about a year ago. She got recommended through another person, and I have to be upfront with everybody, that I am blind. Even though I was told not to, just wait till I'm there. Then once they realize it's already too late.
Mhm.
But I like giving people the opportunities because I'm the most basic DJ you can hire. So as soon as they hear, well, this lady, as soon as she found out that I was blind, she goes, "Well, anybody can play music off their Bluetooth and rent out speakers." She said, "I can do that." She goes, "No, I want to find another DJ." So I was like, "Okay, that's completely up to you." But yeah, she was the most rude that I've gotten. But I have had people not hire me because I am blind.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I could see how it could be kind of tricky. I think it's still good to announce it right away because I feel like that's also your niche, like your niche. You know what I mean? Like there's no one else that can do or is doing what you're doing, right? So I've met other guys that I've interviewed that, can't use their hands. So they kind of use like their knuckles or like different ways to maneuver and change like the knobs on the controller. So but yeah, I think you could really use it to your advantage.
Yeah, I have gotten some like a couple of the Moose Lodges. I'm part of their package deal when somebody rents out the hall. They ask, we got a package deal with the DJ. And they do that because they support my situation and they heard me and they like the way I DJ. So they add me to their package deal.
Yeah, and you have really good song selection. I could see you doing like a huge sports arena. That would be amazing. Like getting in like the massive like a baseball, football. Like, would you ever wanna do something like that? Like something big like that?
That would be nice. I know I DJ'd the what do you call that? The not the after party, but the pregame party in the parking lot. I
Mhm.
forgot what you call it.
Oh, like a tailgate party?
Yeah, the tailgate parties. I have DJ tailgate parties. And a matter of fact, I was supposed to DJ the tailgate party for the Dallas Cowboys 49er game here in Santa
Oh,
Clara.
snap. Wow.
But but my daughter, that's around my daughter's due date, so I had to kind of cancel that. And we had free tickets for the whole front row 50-yard line, first row, season
Mhm.
tickets. They had 10 tickets that they get. And but unfortunately I had to turn that down because that's my daughter's around my daughter's due date and we don't want to be there and all of a sudden she goes into labor.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. How you doing, Electra from YouTube? Good to see you as well. So yeah, if you guys have any questions too, drop them in the chat. And if I miss them, just put them back in the chat on Twitch here. And I'll be sure to kind of catch them. We're going to definitely get into the details just in a little bit. His story, more of his story, you guys. Yeah, I think mentioning that to people, it gives people more grace because in this industry, it can be very tough, with criticism and how do you deal with that too? Like you said, you haven't had too many bad situations, but how do you deal with that? Because this industry could be a very tough industry, online, doing shows, and also off of line,
Honest,
DJing.
yeah, honestly, I just let it roll off my shoulder and I just go with the flow and make the best of every situation because life just flies trying to get Twitch famous.
Mhm.
Life honestly, it's too much going around to let the little things bother you.
Yeah, that is very, very true. Now, have you always been kinda like this laid back, even before your accident? Where you did you always kinda have this, type of philosophy or just this kinda laid back coolness, about you?
Honestly, with the way I grew up, I believe the way I grew up led me to be in this situation. But yeah, I never let little things bother me. Honestly, I never really let any little minor things get to me.
Yeah, that's really, really great. That's such an admirable attribute. I wish I can learn from as well. I think a lot of us in this room can. So, going back to just the beginning of your story, like where did your love for music come from and how old were you around?
Oh well, honestly, since I was a little kid, before the whole separation of my family and all that. When I was a little kid, my dad was in a band, a big band, and he, for example, Buddy Rich had a big part of him. Buddy Rich, the famous drummer that played, in the big jazz bands, he had a big part of teaching my dad how to play the drums. And to this day, my dad, when it comes down to playing drums, I mean, he's bad. He is
Mhm.
bad, and he's been in several different bands. And my most famous band, my favorite band, I should say, that he was in. It wasn't his big bands that he was in. It wasn't, but my favorite band that he was in was called the Country Breeze Band. You got to excuse my face; it's a little numb. Uh, and they played a mix of funk, Latin music, country music, and just the way they transformed their musics, their songs, the way they used to do when they were live, going from, say, for example, a Santana song to a country song. The way they transformed it was, oh, I fell in love with music. And then also, when I was about 10 years old, going through, you know, everyday life struggles that everybody goes through. There was an older guy, he was already in his 30s. he, I stay, I used to visit him a lot, and we stay up all night listening to his vinyl records. And he actually got me to become an oldies collector, and he gave me his vinyls that his brothers wanted, during after he had to leave for a long time. And when he was leaving, he gave me all his records because I used to kick back with him all the time. I remember his brothers got upset, but from there, it's just something that music always just, yeah, I've always loved music since a kid. But it was in my blood, starting from my dad.
Yeah, amazing. I didn't actually realize how popular, I mean, the oldies is always the classics, right? But I noticed with a lot of West Coasters, a lot of guys in California, they play a lot of the oldies. Yeah, that disco, that funk vibe. The funk I can understand in the disco and that sort of thing, because it just gives that West Coast kind of sound. But I was surprised with the oldies, how many people in the West love like the old classics. And I hear it on every West Coast like show here on Twitch, which I love.
Yeah, oldies always, oldies always been around. Honestly, even over here since I was a kid, and everybody that's a lot older than me,
Mhm.
that's one thing that they always loved was oldies. They always push oldies, and that's where I started loving oldies.
Oh, wow, amazing. How you doing, DJ Rennie D? Good to see you as well, and everyone else that's come through the building. DJ Tonga Kid, a lot of new faces here. PB DJ Darren and Tricurious and everyone else that's come through. DJ 310. Good to see all you guys. Electra, again, thank you, DJ Crush, for the raid earlier. Make sure you guys are adding DJ Crush AZ. Does a great show as well. So make sure you guys are adding all of them. DJ Frank C as well says oldie shout outs to the oldie sessions as
Yeah,
well.
that's one of the raid trains I'm on Wednesday, the oldies sessions.
Oh, nice. Okay, sweet. Now if you do a raid train, why don't you let people know about your raid train as well?
So my raid train, honestly, I get a lot of help with it through all my DJs that gets on. They all help me. All help support it. So I don't want to take the full glory of the raid train, but I just started it. Um, just this last Friday was our fourth Friday that we were doing it. But for example, DJ Tonga Kid, Rob G Funk, my super bond Tricurious J, they all helped me a lot with my raid train with Funk It Fridays, and that's what it's called, Funk It Fridays. We play a lot of old school, just a lot of funk, and just the funk genre from all over, from the East Coast, from the West Coast, is so huge. And that was brought to me by the some of the lowrider band car clubs that I DJ for, and they told me, you get a day of funk, we'll start getting on and start spreading the word for you. So I was like, all right. So that's when I decided, you know what, let's start a day of funk. And and I had, from the jump, my super mod, Tricarious J, DJ Tonga Kid, and Rob G Funk. And for example, Godfather Love, he loves playing funk. Everybody just loves that funk vibe, that music.
For
And it
sure.
just, yeah, it's growing.
Yeah, I had a chance to check it out, I think it was last week, and definitely loved it. I was like, "Oh, yeah, this is," if you're loving the oldies and the funk and, like, even, like, Zapp and Roger, which I love. Who are your favorite, funk bands out there?
My favorite, I have to say, all of them. I mean, I can't pick one favorite. Same thing with oldies. When it comes to oldies, I can't pick just one certain person. But yeah, just music in general just gets you in a good mood.
Yeah, it
I, I,
does.
I've always say, music is the best therapy, but laughter is the best medicine. I like to joke a lot. I like having fun. I like to laugh, and that's one thing, especially in the comments when I'm doing my live. A lot of time I try and listen to walkie-talkie when my wife telling me, who's commenting, and then from my microphone to paying attention to the songs. And it was funny the other day because she was telling me somebody was on um, somebody was on my live and she was telling me, so I went to go pick up the walkie-talkie and I
Mhm.
grabbed the microphone instead, started talking in the microphone. I was laughing at myself.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, and I'm amazed how you do it. I gotta make sure I shorten my messages because I write long novels like I'm talking to you in person. Sometimes it drives like mods and people crazy, on Twitch. They're like, "Get this girl out of here," but that's just
Well,
how
I,
I am. I'm very chatty, like
I got a good super mod, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't mind. I know, like my phone, I think somebody was telling me sometimes it sends double mention because I got a phone that's made for the blind. I don't know if you guys can see it or not,
oh,
and
here, I'm gonna
it
zoom in
freezes
on
up.
this.
Yeah, it
Okay.
freezes up a lot. It's the 4G. It's specially made for the blind, so a lot of time it freezes up, or sometimes you'll send like double the messages, and sometimes I just have to restart it, and it just. But I'm blessed to have it regardless.
Yeah, and keep in mind, guys, he's, like, not only DJing and trying to, like, feel the knobs and stuff and move and maneuver and listen. Like, they say with a DJ, you have to split your brain. So you have, like, a track on this side, a track on this side of the brain. You're trying to blend it, and then you're also looking at the chat, you're looking at the camera, like, there's so much going on. So I'm always amazed when he's like taking his phone, he's listening, he's like, okay, I got a mix now. And you're probably a very good multitasker, I think.
Well, honestly, I don't read my chats.
Hmm. No, and that's okay. You can't catch everything. And sometimes, people that are dropping in the chat, they're just talking amongst themselves, enjoying the music, right?
Yeah,
So,
well, I don't read my chat because I can't see my chats, but
oh yeah, yeah,
yeah.
reading. Yeah, no, you're right.
But no, when my wife's here or my son, they'll tell me when somebody directly sends a like a message for me, and they'll tell me
Hmm.
that's when they're here. A lot of times they're not able to be here, but when they are here, they'll tell me in the walkie-talkie, and I'm back and forth the walkie-talkie, making sure I catch the beat, making sure I'm talking on the microphone every chance I get.
Yeah, that's so true. I know a lot of times I just forget Tricurious as well because he's just like, I don't know, so calm, laid back, and mixing that, like, you forget a lot of times. You're like, wow, like, you know, so because it just seems to come natural to him. DJ Rennie D says ADHD kicks in. It's so true. I think you explained it well when we're streaming because our brain is like like this, even right now, you guys can't see. I have two laptops, a phone, camera, ring light. I'm looking, my eyeballs are constantly shifting, well, to the chat and to you.
Well,
But
maybe that's something that helps me a lot is because I had a AD, I can't even say it right, AD,
HD.
HD real
Hmm.
bad. So before my incident, I wasn't able to sit down no more than 5 minutes. I remember my wife used to get mad. Watch a show with me. Okay, first commercial, I'm up. Next thing you know, I'm working on the car or I'm doing the yard or I'm up doing something.
Yeah, I'm definitely like that too. I'm curious, on the Honey Flow show, I always bring up aisle 2, which is, if you're not familiar with aisle 2, it's looking for love in aisle 2 of your grocery store. If you're single, if you're married or in a relationship or even want to kill your partner, you come to aisle 2 to restore that love. So we're going to go into a little bit of aisle 2. How long have you guys been married for as well?
28 years.
28 years? Wow.
28, 28 years, 9 kids, going on our fourth grandkids.
What? You have 9 kids?
Yeah, but I honestly have to say I plead the fifth. She drugged me morphine and Viagra, so I plead the fifth.
Jeez. You guys, is he messing with me? I can't tell if he's serious or not. Name the ages right now if you got 9 kids. Let's test him because Honey Flow's good at testing.
My oldest is 28. My second oldest, my oldest is a junior. He is 28. My second oldest is 26. And then my third oldest, because I have two sons that passed away, he would
Oh,
have
wow.
been he would have been 22. And then it's my next oldest. She's the one that's no, he would have been 23. It's my next oldest. She's the one that's due at any time now. She is 21. And then my next one, she is 20. She'll be 21 in January. And then it goes to my son. He is 19. And then it goes to my next daughter. She is 17. She actually already graduated at the age of, I think, 16 and a half, 17. And then it goes to my next daughter. She's 16. And she just turned 16 in July. And then my youngest, he would have been 13 on the first.
Wow. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were joking or not. Wow, that's incredible. And that is kind of hilarious with the comment you mentioned with your wifey drugging you up. I don't know. She looks so young too. I saw her on camera. She's beautiful, by the way. You got a beautiful wifey.
And that's a good thing about being blind is I'll never see her get old.
You'll never see her get old. Yeah, and she doesn't have to do her hair, her makeup, nothing around you. So, wow, that is crazy. And sorry to hear about your kids as well. Sorry to hear that.
Well, everything happens for a reason. With my two boys, for example, my first oldest one that passed away, he was not my oldest. He's my second oldest son. He had a rare heart condition, and they did the whole gene testing and all that. It wasn't nothing. He was happened to be the second one that was born with this condition. The first one was a girl out in China, I believe. She was only lived to be a few hours, if I remember correctly, or 2 days. My son got to live 2 weeks shy of his second birthday. But my last son, he was born with the same thing. They said that it's almost impossible for us to have another baby with the same condition.
Mhm.
But they upgraded the machine. I don't know if you guys ever heard of the ECMO machine. For my first son, they upgraded it to where it helps run all your organs now. And it's saving so many millions of lives every day now. And
Hmm.
because of my son, now there's so many more millions of lives being saved. But because of that machine being upgraded, it helped my last son that passed away because of that condition be able to stay alive for 11 days. It's if you do the math and you look at, biblically, uh,
Mhm.
11, 111, that's a biblical number. And, he just happened to pass away on the first of this month and he got his wings on the 11th of this month. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's a, there's everything, everything happens for a reason.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely believe that whether it's kind of good or bad. It's to put the pieces together though when bad things happen, and that's something we're going to definitely talk a little bit in the show, about how do you manage two with 9 kids because that's a full family. Wow, I could barely manage myself. I can't even imagine, like, I can't imagine 9 kids. Like, how do you balance out everything? Do you have like 10 different lunch boxes going on? Like, how do you how does your wife figure it all out? That's a lot.
Well, I don't like my oldest, him, his wife, and my three grandkids, they got their own spot. My second oldest, she's living with her husband. And my third oldest, well, he's no longer here with us, but so my next one up to bat, she she moved out with, she got her own place with her husband. So here at the house we got Raina, my daughter Raina, Mariah, Stephanie. So we got four with us here at the house.
That's still a lot though. Wow, 4 kids, you know? So when they're 18, are you kinda like, "Okay, you gotta go. You gotta get out and try to"
No, no,
no?
my our house is always open to, because life hits and struggle happens. And I just, the way we look at it, you can't just, sometimes just get up and move on.
Yeah, exactly, that's true. How you doing, DJ D Real? Good to see you. We got Vicky, Klein that came in the building too. How you doing? Good to see you as well. Okay, so Tricurious had a question. Oh yeah, that's hilarious. DJ D Real says that's a lot of Netflix and chill. Like, are you talking about Netflix and chill between wifey and him?
No, honestly, there wasn't no Netflix, there was no TV, just too many oldies.
Too many oldies, too many slow jams. That's what it was. It was you know what it was, guys? It was computer love. So did you guys meet in high school then or junior high or something?
Well, we were friends for like 2 years before she attacked me.
Oh,
But
before she attacked you? She's
yeah,
probably rolling her eyes like, "Oh, great."
yeah, we were friends for like 2 years before then. And then after that, one thing just led to another and we got together.
Wow. Okay, amazing. That's a cool story. And what do you how do you keep like a marriage working too? Because there's so many people that are getting divorced right now, so many going through it, especially during the pandemic. So many people that I would never expect in a million years, 20 years marriage, and then boom, it's just done. Like how do you guys keep it going if you kind of want to quit too at times?
Honestly, you just gotta find ways to keep things fresh. You gotta find ways to keep things fresh. And me, I was one that used to always like, doing catching on surprise with things. Just surprisingly take her somewhere and doing things. I know it may sound cheesy, but doing things romantic. Um, just I was always one that I never like to sit in one spot. I always like just spare the moment. Let's go do something. Keeping things excited.
So you guys still made time for, like, date night and that sort of stuff with that many kids as well?
Yeah, yeah. We make sure we get the at least once a month a date night, or even going out to having a picnic at the park or something.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, well, you must have definitely put the charm on her because 9 kids later, but you're saying that she drugged you up, so I don't know who to believe here, you know? We're gonna have to get her side maybe in a part 2 series, uh, to see, who's telling the truth here as
Oh,
well.
she'll deny the truth.
Oh, she'll deny the truth. So who's would you say you're introverted or extroverted or a mix?
On my
Like kind of more how do I explain? Like do you have more of an outgoing personality or would you say you're more kind of more to yourself, more like a homebody, you know?
me, I can pretty much talk to anybody. Uh,
Mhm.
I go to a store. I see some. Well, I was always one that liked helping people, but yeah, I can talk to anybody and everybody. When somebody shines me off, then I say, all right, cool. That is what it is. I just go on to, when somebody wants to talk to me or whatever. I'm open ears. I'm always willing to give an ear, a shoulder, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, Tricurious says you're definitely an extrovert. They seem to know you quite well, obviously. I think they mod for you, right? Uh,
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, nice. Let's see. Now, there was a question too. I think Tricurious has too. Um, let's see here. I'm just trying to call it up. Oh, whoops. See, this is why I can't mod at all, guys. I saved I basically starred I tried starring Tricurious's question and I starred this one like accidentally. Okay, here. Let me see. Actually, Tricurious, if you could put your oh, here it is. No. Oh yeah, here it is. Is it this one? Oh yes, it's this one. Okay, I found it. So Tricurious asks, can you ask yourself if any of your kids are interested in DJing as well?
My daughter was actually a little bit interested, but she found her other half, and they wound up getting together. And this was about 3-4 years ago. They've been together for like 4 years now, and
Okay.
now now she's pregnant. She kind of leaned towards away from that, but also she was also going to school to be for pastry, and I forgot the full name of it. I don't want to say the wrong name because a lot of words I can't pronounce. But and then she also started school to be a again um I guess you could say animal doctor, surgeon for the
Like a veterinarian, is it?
veterinarian,
That's
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Oh, that's awesome. You must have some serious cookouts if you have 9 kids, like a big family. I wanna get invited to I'm gonna come to one if you got, like, a barbecue cookout. Do you guys ever do that?
Oh, I used to do that all the time. I used to, and my when I used to barbecue my ribs, they were the first to go.
Oh,
And
man.
but now with our situation, I think the most we barbecue now maybe about a box of noodles.
A box of noodles, that's about it. Do you have any siblings too, like brothers, sisters?
I have one brother that he's passed away, and I do have a sister. She stays about 2 hours from me.
Okay. Oh, wow. Wow. Sorry to hear that. You've definitely gone through definitely, a lot of loss for sure. Um, yeah. Wow. Um, you know, um, we are going to actually get into, I was going to say, the footage, guys. I have some footage too that I was going to play, actually, probably in a few minutes. I think we'll definitely do that. It's a really powerful clip of his story and kind of what's happened to him. It's really, really inspiring to show that you could really do anything. Like, you don't really have, sometimes we think we have things holding us back, but when you look at his story, you're like, wow, this is really inspiring. Before we get into it, though, I know you're an advocate against drunk driving, of course. Why don't you kind of explain, to the audience and people out there what exactly you do now with that, like advocating?
Yeah, so now I speak for the every 15-minute programs at the high schools, and sometimes I speak at the actual assembly, and sometimes I'll speak at the night before to the students that are in the actual program, and that's ran by the CHP, and it's a big assembly for juniors and seniors that they
Hmm.
have. A matter of fact, right here in Manteca, what they do there for that district is they get all the high school, which is 5 high schools, and they gather them up in one big stadium, or it's over there in Manteca, it's actually a church, and they get all the high schools together, and they do it every year. It's only the seniors, and then I also speak for MAD, Mothers Against Drug Drivers. I'm also a volunteer, speak for them as well. And then I also speak at DUI classes, and I also speak at public events. For example, this last year we had a public event that I was asked by I believe it was the mayor of Stanislaus. No, it was somebody in office here in Stanislaus County, and it was an outside event. It was a big event for the fire department, officers, and all first responders and stuff like that. And I spoke there as well.
Do you ever get nervous, like, speaking at these schools or around people, like, public speaking? Because they say speaking is comparable to, it's I believe the number 1 fear next to death. I think public speaking was number 1 and death was number 2, actually, so people are petrified of public speaking.
No, because what I do is I stand up in front of the crowd and I just close my eyes for I can't see nobody. No, but
You close your eyes, that's what I should do. I wear hats. I hide, you
but
know?
no, I don't get I just my thing is I want to get my message across and try to help save people's life from both sides of the end, trying to stop people from drinking and driving. This way they don't end up being locked up or end up hurting somebody else, because it's both sides of the family that gets hurt in the whole situation, all the ripple effects. So I don't get nervous. I just focus on getting my message across and telling my story. That's the best I can do.
Exactly. Did you, like, public speak before, the accident happened?
No, nah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. And what were you doing before the accident? Can I ask, like, just for work or what you were doing, before that?
Before that, I was actually a truck driver, and then I became a local truck driver because my family came first. I always make sure that all my boss, I told all my boss, from the jump, when my kids have an event or anything going on, I'm going to be there for my kids first because you can always find another job, but you can't,
Mhm.
you can't replace your kids. And I know that personally, because I got two sons that passed away. So
Yeah, for sure.
my family came first. So I became a local truck driver for I could make sure I had time with my family because that came first.
Mhm. Do you ever miss, like, driving truck, or you're like, I'm good right now?" Like, um, or
Well,
the job, I guess?
I miss working because I guess you can say I was a workaholic. Um,
Mhm.
I mean, I do miss working, but actually DJing, sometimes I just get stuck, zoned out in my music, and it just makes me forget about all that. I get
For
zoned out in
sure.
my music, and I just go.
Yeah, exactly. What do you say to people that I mean, I just actually had this comment the other day from my mom. She's like, "You're not gonna be doing this till you're 60, are you? Like, really? Like, come on, you're not seriously gonna be listening to hip hop till you're 60." I said, "Well, probably. I mean, it's like anyone that has a passion. If you're passionate about sports, like, people are gonna be watching sports till they're 100, right? So, it depends what your passion is." But, I guess they couldn't fathom it. They're like, "Well, come on, that's kind of like a kiddie thing, like, you're kinda older now." So what do you say to people, like my mom, I guess? Or what do you say to people out there that are like, "Come on, you're getting kinda old, like, this music thing, like, really?"
Yeah, honestly, if it's something that puts you in a good mood, makes you forget about any negativity, if it's something that makes you never get too old for that. You never get too old for laughter. You never get too old for something that's pretty much therapy to your soul. You never get too old for that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, and a lot of people don't realize the DJs should have been, what is it? Oh, I'm drawing a blank on the word. If someone can help me. Uh, you know, like, you know, we did a lot during the pandemic, right? Everyone came online to watch us and to listen to music, and we really did help a lot of people, right? Because music is therapy. So and it was important. An essential worker. That's what other DJs said. We should have been. I know it sounds crazy to say to maybe a nurse or a firefighter or whatever, but people were saying that DJs should have been essential workers because when everything was shut down, like everyone turned online and were watching us to help them, like get them through the next day playing music, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I know Rob G Funk, for example, he always says, just it's good music for your soul. And it's true. It's absolutely true.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, Rob G. Funk. DJ Crush, he says, yes, be you always. I'm 60, still listen to hip hop and still a DJ. Wow, DJ Crush, I'm sending you to my mom. You don't look
DJ
60. He doesn't
DJ
look
Crush,
60.
when he's on my Funky Fridays, every chance he gets. But I have to say, you look like you're like 19 to me.
Oh, here comes the jokes. Is he saying you look like you're 19? I don't know. What are you gonna come back with, DJ Crush?
We won't add the extra years, but yeah, you look like those don't count. But you look like you're like 19.
DJ D Real says, if there's no music, life is not fun. I agreed. I definitely agree. Let's see. PBD, I'm trying to read some of these comments. PBDJ Darren says, same here to Crush. Music will never get old to me. Um, let's see. This girl, Xtina, asks, did she stop listening to her music when she turned 60? Yeah, I think so. She just never understood hip hop. Uh, my mom threw out all my gangster cassette hip hop tapes, like Ice Cube and actually all the West Coast tapes. She threw them off a third floor balcony,
Well,
when I was in my teens.
my mom, my mom's she's she like she's 21,
Hmm.
but she throws on her cumbias and she goes dancing in the middle of the living room. Just her enjoying life. She starts dancing and puts her in a good mood. My dad, he's already in his 80s and he's still playing the drums. He still sits there, plays the drums. He puts the headphones on and he starts practicing, and he's still enjoying music and just loving life.
Yeah, that is so true. And I think it runs in your culture, right? Why don't you say your ethnicity as well to, others out there that may not know?
I am I'm a mostly Mexican, but like my dad's a mutt. He's
Hmm.
Spanish, European, German. I think he got Italian in him, if I remember. He got like 12 different race in him.
Hmm.
And my mom, she comes from Mexico, but the Mexican, and I know a lot of I spoke with a lot of, they're originally Nahuatl. The original word is Nahuas, which means Aztec. The English way to say Nahuatl is Aztec, and a lot of people confuse it. I like the actually language is Nahuatl. The L is silent, but a lot of people say Nahuatl, Nahuatl.
Hmm.
But the
Interesting.
original way to say is Nahuatl. So
Awesome.
so I got a lot of Nahuatl in me as well.
Yeah, I love that. And Vicky Klein says he is such an inspiration no matter what he and his family have gone through. He continues to find the positive, help others, and share a smile. Yes, that's what I love too. Like you really do a good show. You really do have such an amazing song selection, like piecing it together. Do you ever pre-plan? Like, do you have to kind of pre-plan your music? Because it's a lot. I mean, to just say if you're just freestyling, I don't know how you would do that. Like, it's a lot of work.
Um, Honestly, my family get my USBs, and I know when my daughter was helping me, she would help me put in order in the way I want it. But other than that, I just jump on, and sometimes I go back and forth between folders. Sometimes I just go back between USBs because I use USBs. But
Mhm.
when I'm at an event and they ask for a specific song, a lot of time my son will be with me. He'll type in because he knows my controller a little bit. He'll just type in the song, or we'll play it off the phone and connect it to my board.
Oh, wow. I was also gonna ask you what streaming software do you use, like Spotify or a streaming software that kinda gives you like, say, if you play funk, it'll just keep giving you more songs, like a streaming platform? That makes it a bit easier too than downloading.
No, I get it all. I use all on USBs.
Wow. Yeah, so that takes a lot of work, like downloading and where do you kinda come up with, say some of your playlists as well? Do you listen to stations or think, like, okay, or do you just kinda know this song go well with this one?
Yeah, a lot of times I just either look. While we use, I download the best quality of music off of YouTube a lot. But either I know the song or I know the artist, and then we'll take it from there. But
Okay.
I have gotten a good selection from matter of fact, he's on Twitch as well. From One Stop DJ Shop. He made me a USB with a lot of freestyle, a lot of hip hop, a lot of funk, and that actually helped out my selection a lot. Now, when it comes to Spanish music, rest in peace to he was like a brother of mine. He downloaded over, I say, almost a terabyte worth of Spanish music for me.
Wow, that's a lot. Oh, a terabyte. Yeah, it's a lot. You got some good friends, you know? Definitely. Yes, DJ Tonga Kid says, shout out to One Stop DJ Shop. PB DJ Darren says, how do you handle requests and searching for it to play in the moment? That's a great question.
Yeah, so the way I do requests, either my son will punch it in on my screen, and the song will either pop up if I have it in, because I have an adapter that takes 15 total USBs, and it will search through all the USBs, and the song will pop up, and then he'll click on it, and I'm on that song. Or if it's not in none of my USBs, he connects his phone, or actually, we'll take the laptop, he'll connect it, and then have it connect to his hotspot on the phone, and punch it in from there and play it off there.
Wow, I don't even take requests, so I don't even know how you do that. Like,
Well, I
it's
did
a lot.
I did this one wedding about 2 years ago, and honestly, my wife should have been a DJ that night because the whole song was nothing but requests. So I didn't do not one mix because a lot of it was how you call it, I forget. I know everybody's gonna laugh at me right now, but the the lemon dances, I think is what the
Lemon dances. Does anyone
yeah.
know what that is? Drop it in the chat. Let me know. I can't think. I don't know.
Yeah, some the special dances like the Keep Shuffle and all those.
Oh, oh, no, actually, I don't know.
And then yeah, I
I'm
forgot
trying
what
to
it's
think.
called.
Oh,
Uh,
drop it in the chat, you guys, if you know what it is, you
yeah, like
know?
like the Keep Shuffle and
Oh, the Cupid Shuffle. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, all those dances. But country has so many of them. We had no
Oh,
clue.
yeah.
That was actually a five. Well, it was supposed to be 4 hours. They kept me an hour, so it was 5 hours of nothing but of those dances and line line dances.
Oh, the line dances.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah, there's so many line dances, that's for sure.
and
Um,
she was a DJ that night. It was funny.
that's so funny. So she kinda knows how to do some things on the controller?
Yeah. Well, with her, what she did was she put her phone on because she did it off her phone. Well, she connected the phone to my board, and then she took it off of she turned off like the ring and everything for it wouldn't be no interference, and just
Mhm.
played them all off her phone.
Okay. Nice. Now, did you DJ before your accident or did you start learning how to DJ after it?
I was always interested in I was always interested in hold on, my phone's going off. As you can see, look at yeah, so I just got a follower on Twitch. See, look at this what
Is now following you on Twitch.
Oh,
so I
wow.
got yeah,
Okay.
my phone's made for the blind, so it reads me everything.
Yeah, so make
But
sure you guys blow up his phone right now. Before we get into what he's gonna say, I want everyone in this room and everyone catching the replay, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, if you're on his channels, if you guys haven't added DJ Scene No Evil, and if someone could drop his link in the chat or his name, like at maybe put at and his name. That way I could just post it. That would be easier and people could just click on it and go to his page. So I want his phone to be dinging like crazy right now. So make sure everyone in the room, if you haven't added him, add DJ Scene No Evil. He is newer to Twitch, you guys. He DJs blind. We're going to get into more of the footage and get into his story a little bit more for those that are just coming on this show. Thank you, Rob G Funk. I appreciate it. So I'm posting the link right now. If you guys are on his pages, come down to DJ Honeyflow Talk Show on Twitch. That's where you're going to actually see the chat. We're not ignoring you there, but we can't see comments on his in his chat room. So make your way down to this page here as well, and then you'll see all the comments, and we'll be able to see you as well. So click this link, you guys, DJ See No Evil. If there's any streamers or anyone in the room, DJs that do raid trains, I ask you to reach out to him as well. If it fits, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. But, there's nothing wrong with reaching out and also helping him to include him on your raid trains. I think that would be really, really dope as well. And people would be very interested. I think all you need is just exposure, basically. And the community, I feel like you already have a community on Twitch, which is great, but just
Yeah, they're all great.
exposure. Yeah.
So before my incident, I was always interested, and I actually had got the stuff, but I never had time to learn. Because I was always spending family time. I was always working, and I never had the time. And then when on my days off, I would either be barbecuing or going to my kids' events. So I never took the time to actually, except for when I was barbecuing, I either throw on my vinyls or throw on uh, some music, and I just bumped the music. But it wasn't until after my incident, and the way I learned, I had actually went down to the shop, and I asked the manager at the time, "What is there that I can use to learn how to DJ without using a laptop?" And at the time, he said, "Well, this Newmark is the first one. At the time, was the only one that took USBs." And then from there, I started learning off that. It was only two channels. I started learning how, and the way I started learning was it was one song at a time. I tried just remixing one song, add a beat all the way through with one song. And so, you know what? I should add this part of this song. And that's when I started learning how to count the beats. And then from there, um, I re-listened to it and said, that beat is overpowering this beat. So I started dropping the bass. That's when I started learning how to adjust the sounds. So, and then I got I got blessed through Denim with the Prime 4, but I had no DJs that was willing to teach me how to use it. And so my daughter said, "You know what? You can bypass the touchscreen." And she learned how through YouTube how to bypass the touchscreen. And from there, just muscle memory. I forgot what each knob did, and I spent a whole day just going back and forth to that one knob, to that one knob, to that one knob, and then I took the next day to the next knob, and then them two knobs, and that's how I memorized my board. Um, 90% of the time. Sometimes I hit the wrong button by accident. I mess up my whole playlist, and it's like, went back to the beginning. But yeah, that's how I actually learned my board and how DJs, slowly but surely.
Wow, yeah, it is incredible. Tricurious says, you are a genius and it is incredible. I agree. Just trying to fix his link on another computer, guys, so I could get it up and running through my stream elements because it doesn't seem to be up and running. So, but we're going to definitely, make sure you guys are adding him as well. Of course, DJ See No Evil on Instagram, and here's Twitch. What other platforms are you on? I know you're on YouTube and you're also on TikTok a little bit. I think I saw you there, right?
Yeah, the TikTok and Instagram I haven't figured out how to use with my phone.
Hmm.
I also got a Snapchat, which I haven't figured out how to use on my phone. The one I know how to use the most with my phone is Facebook and Twitch. The only bad thing, oh, and YouTube. The only bad
Okay.
thing about Twitch with my phone is I don't know it's because of all the updates that Twitch is doing, but it's always either kicking me off or my phone freezes up and I have to restart it. And then I know like in the comments,
Oh,
so
okay.
it doesn't read me the chat, but I can chat, but a lot of times, especially when I get blown up with scam calls, but a lot of times I think it'll send like double, triple messages from my understandings from what I was told, and
Hmm.
and then it freezes up because it got buttons. If you guys can see it, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it has buttons, and I have to wait for it to say the word, the letter before I hit the next letter. So if I go too fast, it'll freeze up on me, and who knows what I spell. So
Too bad it doesn't save shows anymore if you're on the DJ. I don't know if you're on the music side or the DJ. I think you're on the DJ side. The
yes,
DJ side doesn't save any shows. I'm sure you could get shows saved off of YouTube and other places, but
right.
if you want to go back and read the comments or what people say about you, it's like you can't really on a DJ mix show, right?
Well, I know with StreamYard, before they shut it down, they go back because StreamYard will tell me what they say on my YouTube and on my Twitch, but that's before they shut it down and log me off. StreamYard will read me, well, not read me, but my kids will read it, and it does it in order from the YouTube and the Twitch. It'll do it right in order, and
Mhm.
it saves the comments, of course, until I log off.
Okay. How you doing, KB Browns? Good to see you. DJ D Real has a question here. Why do you continue streaming on Facebook since they cut you off due to copyrights? That's a good question. I was going to ask that for you too, because I'm kicked off like 2 seconds playing
Well,
music.
Well, with Facebook, the reason why I do that just to keep everybody that's on my Facebook a little tease that forces them. They want to listen to good music. It forces them to get on Twitch.
But you don't ever get kicked off Facebook or YouTube?
What they do is they mute it out on YouTube. Uh, they're within an hour and a half. If there's one song you play, they'll give you copyrights, but they won't mute out the song. But if there's one song you play, they'll just delete your whole stream. But most of the times they won't do that. They'll keep it up if you're within the hour and a half. But on YouTube, I know it'll stay up. That's a good thing. But they'll give you a warning. So for
Mhm.
example, I got a strike before on YouTube because obviously I can't see my warning. So my kids will have to start watching my YouTube when I go live on YouTube. And they'll tell me, the screen's black. That's my warning. Turn off the music. So, and they usually give you that warning right about your hour and a half mark.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I get kicked off right away. And then there's also Mixcloud I haven't tried, but I could probably help you with TikTok a little. And I heard there's a new feature, guys, in Streamlabs where you could actually stream to TikTok and to Twitch like without a stream key. I'm still trying to figure that out. So if anyone knows how to do that, just DM me.
Or
But
a matter of fact, if you're still on, that can help you with the sound on your on StreamYard is
mhm.
DJ Tonga Kid. He's the one that help my son figure out the sound for my StreamYard.
Okay, yeah, that would be good. I always feel like StreamYards, there's like a lot of delays too. A lot of DJs don't go through StreamYards. But then again, are you wired in with like your modem? Like I use my Wi-Fi.
Um, we use my laptop to
Hmm.
yeah, it's just everything's on my laptop. My board is not obviously on my laptop because I use USBs, but we
Hmm.
have the adapter that goes into the laptop for the sound.
I wonder when you're on Wi-Fi, like your internet connection. I wonder if you're wired in. Maybe, maybe that's why you have a good connection than
Well,
if you're.
we have we have the great high speed Metro
Oh,
5G
yeah.
Wi-Fi,
Oh, oh wow.
unlimited.
Oh shoot.
But yeah, so you put that up higher, you have better connection. I've noticed when it's like middle by the window or by your or lower, you have more problems. But ever since we put it up high, we haven't. You know, we run our Fire Sticks, we run my
Oh my
kids'
gosh.
phones, my StreamYard, YouTube, Twitch,
Wow.
um,
Okay, you guys,
the
let's all find out where they live. Let's find out where DJ See No Evil lives
the
so
PlayStation 5, everything's running off the 5G.
we could swipe his Wi-Fi. You know how you used to go to Starbucks to get the free Wi-Fi? At least I did. You know, you go around people's houses to try to, at least in Canada, because our Wi-Fi is horrible. You know, we go around trying to get free Wi-Fi, sit in front of a coffee shop without buying the coffee. Anyways, yeah.
And my Wi-Fi is only $40 a month.
What? $40? In Canada,
Yeah.
it's like well over $100. Some of our packages are like $200 out here. That's crazy. Okay, I need to move to Cali. Seriously, I need to move where you guys are at. $40.
Yeah.
That's insane. Wow. Let's find out where he lives, you guys. Let's find out. But yeah, our Wi-Fi is horrible here. And I think in Canada, they said it's the most expensive in the world, like basic services that we have, like internet. That's why I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm like, forget it. I'm not going to buy $100 or $200 package, to wire into a modem. I'm not going to bother. So, anyways, so we are going to get into the time is going so fast here, you guys. So I definitely want to play this footage, of what happened to him. So for everyone that, for the people that are just coming in on the different platforms listening to us, DJ See No Evil, make sure you guys are adding him on Twitch. He does an excellent DJ show. He DJs blind. So he said earlier on in the show he can't even see anything blurry or any images or any light. Like it's complete darkness, he said. So can you imagine, like, even if you guys take a moment while you're watching this video clip, after, just close your eyes for, even 5-10 seconds or even a minute and just really think about that, like, I just think it's remarkable that this guy is DJing, turning the knobs, listening to the music, trying to talk to us while he's blind and you can't even tell. That's what's so amazing. And he's got such a positive outlook and attitude with life. It just really inspires me as well. So I'm going to play this video, you guys, and I hope it definitely touches you in some way. And I think the biggest support you could give is to at least give a follow on his show. That would be great as well. So I'm going to just take off the banner here and we're going to get into this footage. And then we're going to talk about his story a little bit more in detail after I play it. Okay, so it's going to be 1 minute. I'm going to put this clip on here. Let's see if I could get this working.
4841, go ahead.
4841, possible head-on TC, Carpenter between Hatch and Whitmore.
Percent 48S3, en route for Cross Bandit and Hatch. 4841 copies, en route.
4841, Merced.
41, go ahead.
4841, Person County, the SOS 97, a fire still en route. 3 parties are pinned in one vehicle and 1 pinned in the other. Both lanes are 1125.
Oh, damn. Hemorrhaging. ¿Estás bien? Ahorita llegan. Ahí nomás quédate. Ahorita ya van a llegar.
Percent 48S3.
48S3, go ahead.
No, he's
Percent 1022 bullet for patients on scene. Need to roll flatbed evidence for examining fire.
Sonny, your truck.
Percent 48S3. 48L has been notified and also requesting 2 more units.
48S3, copy. 48L was notified and you're requesting 2 additional units.
Hey, brother, just stay right there, man. Try not to get out. You might hurt yourself more.
41, go ahead.
66758 Union 1 to E-towing. 94 red Chevy Silverado pickup, 2 plates for evidence.
Copy. 66758 Union 1 to E-tow. 94 red Chevy Silverado pickup, 2 plates for evidence. Copy. Cat 1's going to be following the tow to the yard.
So yes, but just be advised we're at 115 and it's going to be 1180 traffic collision.
It's 10-4, copy. You have 11015, it's going to be 1180. 4841 information.
4841, go ahead.
4841, we have Memorial Landline advising their party is likely going to 44. They have a possible ID of last of Russ, first of Manuel, middle of Alberto, 723 of 76. They're inquiring if we have confirmed an ID and if we have any contact info for the family.
4841, negative information on the family yet. I'll call Memorial. First at 4841, 1015 info.
4841, go ahead.
1015, last of Garcia. The charges are going to be 23152A and B, 14606 BC, and the hospital will call prior to her release.
48S3.
48S3, go ahead.
48S3, party of Garcia has been booked 1098.
10-4, copy, last of Garcia was booked for DUI, 98.
Wow, that is definitely a powerful video. I've watched that video several times actually before my show. Thank you for sharing and even posting that video. I don't know if people really know, but this accident was fairly recent. It happened in 2018, which was right before the pandemic. And I can't even imagine like, going through that and then having the pandemic and also, having such a large family of 9 kids. I know you're not asking for this at all, but is there anywhere, if people feel like led to donate to you or to help, do you have like a Cash App or a PayPal or anything? I know you didn't ask for this, but if there's anyone catching my replay or anyone that just wants to bless you and help you and your family, do you have that?
Yeah, I have a yeah, we have a Cash App and a Venmo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which my Venmo, my Venmo, man, I honestly I forgot, and my wife's not here. Are
Okay.
so one of them is Kim, Kim, and then the letter N, and then also OSO. One of them, I think that's my Cash App is Kim and also, and then my Venmo is DJ See No Evil.
Okay.
Oh, you know
So
what? My wife just said that, or my daughter just said she's gonna post it in the chat.
yes,
Both of
if you
them.
could post it, if you guys could post that in the chat. And if anyone, Twitch is such a beautiful and amazing community. We've raised so many funds. It would be awesome doing a raid train or something for you. Like we've raised a lot of funds for various causes over the last 4 years, right? Some have been very successful. I would say all of them actually, because Twitch is such an amazing, generous community. People have raised like, oh my gosh, like a shortcut. I think it's nearly over $200,000, right? Like it's crazy because he recently had a stroke. Breast cancer, DJ D-Man, I think it was over $60,000 he's raised. White gold for sick kids, over, I believe, 30,000. Don't quote me, I could be wrong. I did an anti-human trafficking raid train to raise funds for a restoration house. We raised, I think it was 4,500 as well, with 100 women. So you never know, when we come together, all our shows, we can make something happen. So maybe DM me, you guys. We can kind of talk. Maybe we could do a raid train. I'd love to kind of collaborate a raid train for you and your family and just do something for you. I think that would be awesome. So if any DJs, and actually not just DJs, streamers in general, are on board with this idea, let's try to collaborate. DM me and we'll try to kind of figure out something, what we can do. I'm not good with graphics or techie stuff, so maybe you guys could help me with that. Yeah. So I think that would be great. Yeah, and post, you guys, in the chat. Definitely post if he's got PayPal, Cash App, anything we can do to help, together. So yeah, that footage going back to 2018, can you kind of describe that day? Like just, how it was for you, like before and then kind of what
Well,
happened?
pretty much like in all my speeches, that's the first video we play. No matter if it's at the high school, for for DUI classes. I always play that video to start it off. Then I always start off with having everybody close their eyes, except for one MAT program. I got in front of over like 400 or 500 CHP officers, and I pretend to look around because none of them knew I was blind. So I pretend to look around the room. I said, "Man, looking around this room, I don't know if I should run or just call for a lawyer."
Mhm.
But that's just my personality. So that morning was my regular, typical, everyday morning routine. I got up and I got. And usually, when I do my speeches, I have everybody close their eyes and have them picture their morning routine. But I want to skip all that. So that morning was I got up. My daughter Raina, she's my youngest daughter. She was born on my birthday. We share the same birthday. So she used to call me birthday boy, and I used to call her birthday girl. And you got to remember at the time she was 9 years old, 10 years old, and she used to sneak in our room every morning and sleep on the foot of our bed, knowing that I would wake her up on my way to work. And I used to wake up for work about 3 o'clock mid, depending on what my route was, but average around 3 o'clock, which I'm still on my work schedule, by the way. Um, I used to wake her up and have her sleep on my side of the bed. And remember, I'm always an early bird. I always like making sure I'm there an hour early to be on time. But I remember I woke her up and I told her, "Baby girl, why don't you sleep on my side of the bed?" And I remember she woke up with a beautiful smile that always starts with her eyes, big cheesy cheeks, and she said, "Okay, my birthday boy, I love you." And I told her I love you too. So she went on my side of bed. I went on my wife's side of bed, and I told her, "All right, babe, I'm headed to work now." And she said, "All right, babe, I love you." And I told her I love you too. And she told me when I was walking back, which is our morning routine, she said, "Be safe." And I told her always. So I remember I was headed to work, and I remember seeing this car. Now, keep in mind, this was a back road, but this back road was my main way to work. Go where my truck and trailer was at. And you got to figure it was like 4:50 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. And I remember seeing this car swerve into my lane. I didn't think nothing of it. I figured they were either on the way to work or coming home from work. And as we got closer, I had no time. So the estimated head-on collision was at 95 miles an hour. The estimated
Oh,
collision. And but from there, the only thing I remember was my truck. I don't know. My truck was flipping. I have no clue. But I remember when my truck came to a stop. In my head, I was thinking, I got to go help the people in the other car. And then I hit me. What if they had kids? So I kind of started panicking because right away I got to go get the kids out of the other car. But my son, every once in a while, at the time he was 12, 12, 13, I don't remember. And he used to go to work with me sometimes. And I remember looking to my right and started yelling his name. And I couldn't see him and he wasn't answering me. So I panicked. And that was the last thing. Now, it took fire departments 45 minutes with the jaws of life to get me out of my truck with the jaws of life. And I remember being in the ambulance. And now I died 3 times. If you hear in the video, the hospital say I was likely to 44, which means I was gonna die. Which I did die 3 times that morning. I died twice in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, and I died at the hospital. So I remember being in the ambulance, and I remember hearing my wife's voice and her hands on my chest, and her telling me, "Let them do their jobs. You're gonna be okay. Just let them do their jobs." But the crazy thing was that she was at home sleeping. She had no clue I was in this incident yet. So I remember now a little inside story. She did have the officers go to the house and tell her, get to the hospital ASAP. And she had just dropped off my kids at school, so she had to get them to go get picked up again. She had no clue what's going on. She seen my pickup truck in the newspaper before she found out. Now, when she was able to see me before they took me to emergency surgery, now it took 32 pints of blood to stabilize me for surgery. It took a total of 52 pints of blood. Now, your average body of blood is eight uh, 8 pints, something like that, for an average person's body. And I took 52 pints of blood total for me. um, I had a brain bleeding in a part of my brain that was non-surgical. My brain was swollen. This what saved me was the crack of my back of my head through the accident. Now they had to reconstruct my whole face and my whole left side of my body. The some of the doctors, none of the doctors thought I was gonna live. My surgeons kind of like just flipped out when I walked in their office or hopped in. Uh, my surgeon for my face that reconstructed my face, he was like in shock when I walked in his office, and they had to reconstruct my whole face. So my right side of my face feels numb, like when you get a shot, like at the dentist. That's where my right side from the split down the middle. That's where it feels, and my face is actually like 5-10 degrees warmer than my actual body. Come to find out, that's because all the nerve damage that my brain and my face took during that incident. Um, they had to reconstruct my shoulder. I don't know if you can see the scars or not, but they had to reconstruct my whole shoulder. My last surgery was a reverse shoulder replacement. But my shoulder, so the surgeon that did my shoulder said that was the worst case he's ever seen. Even the surgeon that reconstructed my face, he doesn't do emergency because of my incident. He doesn't do emergency surgeries no more. The one that did the
Wow.
emergency surgery on my shoulder said that was the worst case because there was like a bunch of cobwebs sticking out of my shoulder. My bone was sticking out of my forearm. I don't know. You can see the scar. I'm not supposed to have no movements in my fingers. My femur was sticking out of my leg, which your femur is the hardest bone in your body. But that was sticking out of my leg. I believe they said in 2, 3 different places.
Hmm.
I still need a knee replacement, but do that. It's on the side that's amputated. It's called a Cadillac knee replacement. The one with the most experience with that has only done 3 because it's so rare. And that more details. They have to customize every single bone in your knee for that knee replacement, which I still need that. My femur healed, but there's so many thin spots in my femur, so they have to keep the hardware. So my face and my whole left side of my body is literally full of hardware. And again, a word I can't pronounce, but dead people's bones is the best way I
Hmm.
put it. And but when I woke up from my coma, because I was in a coma, when I woke up from my coma, I literally woke up to hearing my kids were crying, my wife was crying, and I literally woke up to hearing the doctor telling my wife and my kids to pull the plug on me. Come to find out, it wasn't the first time they had said this, but pretty much pull the plug on me because I had no chance to live. That I was pretty much dead. And I remember when I heard this, I had no voice because I had a trach down my throat. My body felt paralyzed. I couldn't move, but it pissed me off. I was like, they have to be talking to me because all I could see was pitch black. I had no voice. My body felt paralyzed. So I forced myself to sit up. And when I sat up, I remember the nurses like flipping out on the right side of me. And they heard the doctor, which sounded like Count Dracula, by the way. um, he's like, lay him back down. So they laid me back down, filled me up with medicine. And I remember when I woke up again, it was pretty much waking up to the same thing. My kids are crying. My wife is crying. Count Dracula was telling my wife again that with all my brain damage that I had, now I have a scar where my brain bleed was at, by the way. Now I have seizures because of it. But luckily, I haven't had one. But I remember he was telling my wife with all the brain damage I took that I was gonna have no brain memory, that I was gonna remember her, let alone my own kids. Again, it pissed me off. I was sitting there in the bed, but my body felt paralyzed. I had no voice. But I was like, man, I remember everything, man. You tripping? Stop lying to my family. So at that time, I rose my right hand, the only one that wasn't tied down. I started asking for something to write with, and so it was like playing charades with the nurses and doctors. And my wife said, "I think he's asking for something to write with." So they gave me something to write with, and I started writing. And I remember the nurses were like, "Look at he remembers how to spell." But the truth of the matter is, I didn't know how to spell before my accident. I think it knocked some sense in me.
Oh man.
But
Wow.
so I started writing, and that's just uh, making a long story short of my physical, because my inner health is good shape. I got no problem with my inner health, but my outside health, my physical health is where I took all my damage. And luckily, I never felt no pain because I was in the coma. So all my physical, my broken bones and everything. Now I feel my hardware. My boats right underneath my eyes is the first to heat up in the sun, and that burns from the inside out. Um, During the cold, my hardware gets cold from the inside out.
Does the
But
doctor ever say that you like even though you're fully blind right now, like has the doctor ever said that there was a chance of recovery, or have they said no, like there's no chance, or have they said that there could be a chance?
well, one of brain doctors, because I had one seizure, it was like a grandma seizure, they call it.
Mhm.
And for that split second, I got to see for like a couple seconds. So he said maybe there is a chance. There's been some people that was blind that woke up and they were able to see. But I've gotten several tests done, several from I forgot what you call it, that specialize in both your brain and eyes. And yeah, they said that the damage, my optical nerves is completely damaged, and there's never no chance for me to ever get my eyesight back.
Mhm. Well, that's
But
what doctors say, but,
right, well,
you
look at
know
this, said that I was gonna die, so
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that is such a remarkable story, and I know we kind of briefly talked, off camera about faith. And I really truly believe that you have to have faith. Like, even
yeah.
if you don't have faith, in God, I really do believe that you have to have faith to keep going if you have
Well,
cancer, if you're
here's
sick.
here's the thing with faith, okay? Well,
Hmm.
before we get there, um, the people in the car had no car insurance. They had no job, so it left us nothing. We
Hmm.
were homeless for about a year, sleeping in our suburban, in the hotel's room, on couch to couch.
Wow.
We got nothing out of it, literally nothing. And through fundraisers, through the lowrider community, through my brother, who he's like my brother with his tattoo shop and everything. That's what got us into this house. And then my wife, she got hurt at work, so we're pretty much check to check at the most, I should say. But luckily we were blessed with great landlords for this spot. But with faith, a lot of people, I mean, plain and simply, God had bigger plans for me. God had, I'm here. I'm here when I'm not supposed to. So he was like, you know what, doctors, you guys are wrong. I want to prove you wrong. But a lot of people don't realize, for people that don't believe in God, you have faith. And when I say that, let me give you an example. When you're watching football, okay, you got the quarterback. When he goes to throw the ball to the wide receiver, he has faith that that wide receiver is going to catch the ball. That's faith. There's so many different angles of faith that people don't realize. Everybody got faith in something, no matter what it is. And but me personally, yes, I believe in God. I believe my faith is in God. It is in a higher power. But for people that don't believe in God, you still have to have faith in something. It just depends on where you put your faith at. Is where you got faith to get up and go to work every day. You got faith that you're gonna make it home every day. You got faith. There's always faith somehow, some way.
So true. Even getting on a plane, you have faith. It's kind of crazy because we have more faith in a textbook. We have more faith in human beings that are, flawed, right? You have faith in a pilot when you walk on a plane. You don't even think about that. You have faith in a pilot that could pretty much not land the plane, that day, based on whatever it is, right? Like, you have faith in that human being that he'll do that, and computers or whatever technology, right? So yeah, it is really true. And I just thought right now, like, I'm just envisioning the accident. And I don't think you can see how bad it was because you lost your sight, so you actually haven't even seen with your eyes this footage that we're looking at, right? Like, the footage that we just shared, it's like you haven't even seen that footage. You could just hear it. And when you look at this video, you're like, oh man, like there was definitely angels like protecting you, you know?
Well, here's the
It could have
thing
been
too.
so worse.
Here's the thing too. So in the pictures that they took of my pickup truck, when I was in my pickup truck, when they were fire department was getting me out of my truck, they were taking pictures. The way they explained it to me, I had over at least the pickup truck was full of orbs. Now, remind you, it wasn't foggy that morning. It wasn't raining that morning, but there was orbs all around me, from inside my pickup truck to all the way around my truck. Now, when they got me out of my truck and I was in the ambulance, they took more pickup pictures of my truck. There was no orbs. But when I was in the ambulance, there was, as the ambulance was driving off, they took pictures of that. There was orbs around the ambulance. Now that don't say something, uh, and that's powerful. Along just that alone with the pictures.
Yeah, that's so true. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. Now, this is a question that I always have because sometimes you go like when you go through really hard trials, you know, and that's why I love your story because there's so many people that are going through stuff. They're going through loss of a job, loss of relationships, friendships, people passing. You know, there's just so many people. A few people I know have cancer right now, stage 4 cancer, and some people don't even know where they're going to live next. You know, I'm hearing all these stories come out. Have you ever, like, after your accident, just kind of been mad at God? Like, why did this happen to me? You know, like you actually didn't you lose a leg as well? Or it had to get amputated?
Yeah, I lost my leg. Yeah, I lost my leg on my left side where I need my knee replacement at. Honestly, I've never got mad at God. I mean, because from the time I woke up from my coma and I found out what was going on, I can't change it. You know, there's no reason to be mad, no reason to be upset. I just got to be grateful and thankful for what God blessed me to still be able to, one, be able to live, two, be able to what I still got. You know, so that's something I can honestly say that I've never been upset with God because I was always grateful that He allowed me to live. Period.
Mhm. So even though, there's so many things you lost, you've never I know I've been upset with him, you know, losing so many people. There was a there definitely was a moment where I was upset, you know, and angry at the situation. So, but you've gone through a lot and he's I just feel like he's kept you here for such a special reason, like tonight, you know, sharing with people and your positivity. And I know you're not putting it on. I know it's really coming from who you are as a person. And, you know, people live their whole lives trying to get to their purpose. And I really feel like you're in your purpose right now. Do you feel that, like, for yourself?
Yeah, I believe so because now my family, I know they've gotten mad for what happened to me and a lot of things we've gone through. But me personally, I was one that always, I believe my upbringing set me up to be where I'm at now. You know, it
Mhm.
prepared me for I wouldn't go into depression, for I wouldn't be mad at God. Um, but I was one that always liked to help people in every which way I possibly could. Whatever I was able to personally be able to do myself, I was always there for people. So part of that, I think God was like, okay, you're doing this. Let me change your path of life where you can help more people. And I believe my speeches now, I mean, I do events and I have people in tears listen to my stories. Like, for example, I did this one event and a father to this student came up to me. He was crying. He goes, I forgot to tell my wife I loved her this morning. Because after every time, even at the end of when I do raids and I'm on YouTube or I'm on Facebook, you know, I always finish with, always make sure you tell your loved ones you love them before you leave your house because you're not guaranteed to make it home. And I finished all my speeches with that. I remember this firefighter, you know, he came up to me, he was crying. He goes, I forgot to tell my wife I love her. A matter of fact, thank you, because I want to call her right now. And he did. He called right in front of me. He got on the phone. He goes, I forgot to tell you I love you. I love you, babe. And so I know I'm making an impact. I may not know how much of an impact or how many people I am, but I believe God put me in this path where I can do what I'm doing now.
For sure. Wow. Ah, yeah, definitely. Um, yeah. Wow. It's such a powerful story, you guys. Like, I just think it's awesome and you're incredible. And I think it's truly remarkable meeting someone like you. Like, you're such an inspiration, and I know big things are gonna happen for you. Like, I feel it. So you guys, if you wanna give or donate, then I know he wasn't asking for that, but I definitely want to post and do whatever I can. So make sure you guys hit his Vimo account, his Cash App, whatever you guys could do to bless him, even with the little bit that we have, even if it's $5 or $10 or just a few dollars to help his family. He's got a large family, 9 kids. And as he was saying, I can't even imagine the medical bills after, and everything that, has happened with him as well. So I think that's awesome that you just keep continuing. And yeah, and I hope more speaking engagements and bigger things happen like for you. Maybe you'll be a global speaker and go across country, and get flown out somewhere, right? To speak.
Yeah, I know. It's not called. I forgot what it's called out there in Arizona. They had contacted me and wanted me to speak at one of their. I forgot what it's called. It's not. Yeah, I forgot what it's called. It's. I know it's called different than California is. I forgot exactly what it's called. But they had asked me to go out there, and somebody from Texas had asked me if I was able to make it out there. I know Las Vegas had asked me as well for the every 15-minute program.
Yeah. You should
But
contact I just have a few ideas. You should contact like the DJ expos. Like some of the big DJ expos, you should try contacting them and see if, they can put your story or something like, or put you in a booth at an expo or something like that, right? Or a TED Talk. I see you doing TED Talks as well, um, going different places and speaking.
well, I know like before my accident, I would I wasn't DJing, but I was announcing for my kids' football games. For example, I would do the scoreboard, play the music, and do play calling. And I was doing it by myself. But I was one. You go to a lot of these youth games. These people that's announcing the game, they play favoritism for their team, and we're there for the youth. I was even sometimes some of my own team would be like people on the team that my kids were on. How come you're cheering for the team? I said, why? Because we're here for the kids. You have to keep it even. And so I have had experience talking in the public. So I know you had asked me that earlier, but now that I look back about it, I had experience talking to big crowds and stuff like that. So maybe
Yeah.
that got me started preparing me for speaking for big crowds now.
Oh yeah, he's definitely preparing you for bigger things. So get ready for that, for sure. Now, Tricurious had a question. He says, "Can you ask our special guest if there are any days when he has to get around and getting in a vehicle makes him have flashbacks or reluctant to just ride in a vehicle ever?" That's a great question.
No, because the way I look at it is God got his plans. I could be here at home and have a seizure and something happens. I can be in a car, whatever God's plans is his plans. But what does give me flashbacks a lot is sirens. When I hear sirens, I get flashbacks of that morning. Now, I don't know if
Mhm.
those flashbacks are just my mind playing tricks on me or things that really happened that morning. But when I hear sirens, I do get flashbacks of that morning.
Yeah, for sure. Wow. If you guys have any ideas too to open up some things for him, let us know because I know with all of us in the room, we could pool ideas together. So if you guys got any ideas or comments, drop it in the chat as well. Even asking your organization, I was thinking, depending who people work for in their company, they're always looking for motivational speakers in the corporate world, right? That have kind of a story to them. And I think that would be amazing. I could see you doing that because we used to have a lot of corporate, like motivational speakers come in, kind of pump up the staff. But with your story, oh man, it's such a powerhouse story that I think you could really go any avenue with it and talk to people, kids, schools, corporate, or like organizations, you know?
Yeah, I know. Make sure. I know. I just got. Matter of fact, before I got on, I got called from a private school, a Christian school, and they were asking if I can go out there and speak on their next event. So of
Awesome.
course, I don't turn nothing down. When it comes to speaking and hopefully making a difference, then of course I automatically accept depending on my schedule.
Yeah. Exactly. Let's see here. DJ 310 has a question. SoCal says, let's see, after your accident, oh, this is a great question, actually. After your accident, do you view people differently, as in trust or more cautious or no change? Great question, you guys. All these questions.
Well, first, everybody give DJ 310 SoCal a shout out because he's the one that introduced me to Twitch. He's the one that got me on Twitch, so I thank him for that. Uh, but to be honest with you, I it's crazy because I don't see people differently. I don't view people differently, but I can hear within their voice more. For example, if somebody sounds stressed out when with your eyesight, a lot of times they hide it. You can't tell, but I can hear it. When somebody's smile is legit, I can hear the difference between a real smile and a fake smile. Um, that's the only thing I could say that changed. But and then it's what another thing too. I know it's probably in the questions is when you lose one sense. So with me, for example, my right side, my tongue, I lost my taste buds. My smell, all I smell is 90% of the time, all I smell is roses. Um, my right side, my face is numb. I lost my eyesight, but did that enhance any other of my senses? No. The only difference is I pay more attention to my other senses now.
Hmm. Wow. Well, we are definitely gonna pray, and I'm not just saying that, like, I really do believe in miracles, and I don't care what the doctors say. I've seen them in my own life, you know what I mean? So, I can't wait until you get some type of report, like, whether it's like seizures being eliminated or even getting your eyesight back. Like I really fully believe that for you. People may think I'm crazy, but I've seen it and I've seen miracles. And no one is larger or bigger than the God I serve. So it's like I know he could really do anything. So yeah, if there's anyone in the room that do believe, with me, it does say when two or more people are joined together in faith and we pray together that whatever we ask for in faith will come true. So if there's anyone in this room today or anyone listening to my voice, we got to definitely do that tonight. So make sure you guys continue to keep him and his family in your prayers as well. And
Thank you.
yeah.
I appreciate that. And the one thing I can say too is after my incident is that there's some of the closest people that I had with me, especially, during times, I would barbecue and stuff or they would call me when they needed something. I was the first one always there. Um, there's a big crowd of my friends that disappeared because they say they can't see me the way I am now. But
Mhm.
I'm the same person. I haven't changed. I still got the same personality. I still joke the same. But what they fail to realize, one, I'm living it. Two, my family sees me like this every single day.
Yeah. I loved what you said earlier where you said that now that you have no sight, you can tell a fake smile compared to, someone, if someone's really genuine or if someone isn't, you could tell by listening to them. And that's crazy for me, to think. Sometimes you think people are going to be there for a lifetime, but I think I realize after a lot of loss how many friends and how many people have dropped off. It goes to pretty much zero out of the entire group and crowd that used to follow you, right? Or used to be around you. But sometimes it's good. It is very hurtful. You seem like the type of guy that wants friends, like those diehard ride friends, like for a lifetime. I'm like that too. But it is a blessing in a sense when people do leave your life, and
And to be honest, thank you to DJ310 for getting me on Twitch. But here on Twitch, I'm pretty fairly new on Twitch, but uh, a couple of the people that I have talked to on the phone, I can hear their sincerity. I can't pronounce it. Sincerity. I speak English the way I speak Spanish. I can't speak neither one of them right, but I can hear their sincerity and the realness over the phone. And there's some real ones here on Twitch that I got to get to know. Just the short time that I've been on Twitch.
for sure, definitely. Like Twitch is a great community. Sometimes it can be a little high school too as well. I mean, you meet hundreds, if not thousands of people, right? You get everyone, I think. But I think overall Twitch has been a positive community that's helped all of us get through in the last couple years as well too. Um, yeah, so you know, that's definitely true with that. So what do you see, like, I guess, what would you what do you see for your future? If there's anything that you could think of, like, let's say on your bucket list for DJing, if you could do anything, like nothing holding you back, you had some big crazy dream to DJ, could be like, I don't know, DJing in South Africa or in an arena or somewhere big. What would that look like to you on your bucket list for DJing if you had nothing holding you back?
Honestly, me DJing, I do it because I love the music. I do it because I love the sound of the music. I do it, but my biggest thing as a DJ, I would love is just to have an amazing sound system. That's my bucket list for DJing. But I do it for one, the love of music. I do it two because I know people love music. I do it three because help support my family. Like I was saying, we're pretty much, it's hard to survive off your it's not SSDI, SSI, because I'm permanent. I forgot what they call it, but what I make in a month now, I used to make in 1 week, and now I make that monthly. So that's the biggest hurdle at the moment. But doing DJing, it helps tremendously with our bills, food, rent, and that's the last. Well, I shouldn't say the last reason, but one of the reasons to DJing that I enjoy as well.
Wow. So then are you guys, I'm assuming your wife is probably a full-time mom, like with 9 kids. I know your kids are grown, like your
Well,
other kids are grown, but you still have 4 in the place, which is quite a bit.
well, during the time of my incident, I was the only, because she was a full time mom. I gave her
Mhm.
I gave her the option. I believe everybody should have their own options, and at the time, all the kids were living with us. So yeah, she was busy being a mom, and
Yeah.
but after my incident, she was forced to go back to work during the pandemic. She was doing a lot of the COVID testing, but once the pandemic started going away and her job started to slow down, she started working at just so happened to be the people that owns Twitch, Amazon.
Oh,
But
wow.
she wound up getting injured at work. So right now, the whole comp going on, and so right now her injuries and everything. She's not she's not she's not working right now.
Mhm. What was she doing at there?
She was in the warehouse part of it. I'm not sure exactly like the details of it.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, if you guys could help anyway, I'm gonna post his Vimo again. And I know he wasn't asking for it, but I just definitely you never know who's listening to your show. You never know if you work for an organization, even if you're not in management, you could always go to your boss and share this story. A lot of corporate, especially corporate sponsorship, it's out there, you guys. So if you go to your company, your organization, you can mention his story, show the link, and see if your company would want to jump on board. Sometimes employees match employer donations. So you never know what you can do when you start thinking outside the box and getting creative. And I know a lot of organizations do have money, and they're always looking for stories where they could donate or make a difference. If it's the Cancer Society, autism, homelessness, like just a lot of different causes, right? So yeah, think about it, you guys. Even approaching your company would help. We have a few people in this room, and I'm sure there's someone that's listening that can really make a difference and help this family as well. So Vimo is here, and his Cash App. So definitely click the link. And if anyone wants to DM me after the show, maybe we could collaborate together to figure out maybe a raid train or just do something. I think would be awesome. Make sure you guys are adding DJ See No Evil. Now you mentioned in your story too that the person that was a drunk driver, um was it a she actually? And was she I think it was a she. Was she a young girl, or and it says 10 years in jail that she ended up getting, right?
Yeah, well, uh, 10 years, and then 2 years served, and then 80% of those 8 years that she had left. So she'll be out next year, I believe.
Wow. Oh, next year
Yeah,
already?
yeah. So that's
Oh,
what, like 6 years. But so she would actually came to my house one time to barbecue,
what?
and she ran in my oldest son's circle at the time, and
Wow.
she um she was three times. I don't want to get nobody in trouble because I knew
Mhm.
somebody that worked at the hospital where she was at. She was three times over the limit, so they weren't able to give her any pain pills because she wound up breaking one of her legs,
Mhm.
and so she was in more pain than I was, honestly.
So it was someone that you knew. That's even crazier.
Well, I didn't. I met her once, but
Mhm.
the thing that's this fly is trying to get Twitch famous.
Twitch famous.
I met her once, but she ran in my son's circle. So the crazy thing is that she was headed back to a party from somebody that, which my son was supposed to be there, but he didn't go to that party because he had to work. But she was headed back to this, I guess you could say, after party of somebody that had just died from a drunk driver a week before.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy. Have you have you felt in your heart like forgiven her, or are you still kind of like battling that out like within you?
My family, that's a different story. Me personally, I she never asked for forgiveness. She made a post, during the whole COVID, over Zoom visiting, on how, you know, she's gonna get a redemption when she gets out. So, but I already forgiven her. Honestly, I forgiven her, not necessarily for her because she doesn't want the forgiveness, but for myself because I
Mm.
can't move on and do my speeches and mean it without forgiving her, with having hatred or being mad at her. I can't do what I'm doing sincerely with that in my heart. So I forgave her for myself because, for I can, move on and just enjoy the rest of my life and help others, do my speeches and speak about my story. I can't do it sincerely and mean it with being mad at her for it.
Yeah, for sure. So true. Wow. He's definitely giving us all a lesson today, guys, because sometimes it is hard to forgive, people, and especially with something uh this traumatic. It wasn't something just minor or small. Like, you lost your sight, you lost like a leg, and also financially, a job, like a lot of things have changed for you as well. So yeah, that's pretty remarkable, and that's definitely, you know, definitely some great advice back to us. You're helping me actually, like in this interview, what you're saying. You're blessing me with some of the things you're saying. Let's see here. DJ Rennie D says, "What back road did this happen at? I'm just curious because I'm from the 209 too."
Over here in Modesto, happened off of so if you drive down Carpenter going towards Patterson, that's where my truck and trailer used to be parked at. Um, right there off Carpenter, headed towards Patterson. It was happened actually in the middle. It says it on the 911 dispatch on the video. It happened in between Hatch and Whitmore off of Carpenter.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So what do you have like anything, like, say if you could, you know, uh do anything in terms, and maybe not the DJing thing, but if you just could do anything with your family, or just do whatever it is that you could think of, what would that look like? What would that be like for your bucket list just to do, right now?
Honestly, for my bucket list, I just want um I just want the best for my family. Honestly, that's my main concern. Uh that's my main concern. I just, like me personally, I'm put on this path for a reason. I'm put on this path for whatever the God wants me to be on this path, and I accepted that from the jump. But for my family wise, I just want the best for them. I just want them to succeed on everything they want to do. And that's my main concern. That's my main bucket list for my family, is for them to be able to do what makes them happy, what makes them, I don't want them to have to go through being homeless again, like during my incident. I don't want them to have to go through that. I want them to be able to live comfortable, not necessarily rich and have all this money and all this houses and cars, but at least comfortable where they don't have to stress as much as we have.
That's so true. And usually, the people that go through the toughest trials, like, al always are the ones that are the greatest leaders, like, in life. Like, the people that go through the toughest times, you know what I mean, are the ones that really triumph, and God really, really uses, for his glory and his kingdom and for, like, bigger things, So I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen, not only on Twitch and online, but off of line. Like, I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen for you. And if we continue to pray for him, you guys, and keep him uplifted, and not just say that. I know a lot of times people just say, "Oh, I'll just pray for you," but like actually really mean it and really do it and take a few seconds out. And like I said, close your eyes for a minute and just envision what that would be like. So I think sometimes when we lose things in our life, I don't want to say it's a blessing because it's hard, but I loved what you said, that you actually do see people differently with your eyes closed. Like you can tell if someone's smiling with your eyes closed, and hear it in their voice, whether they're sincere or not. Sometimes we can't even see that truth with our eyes open, right? So I thought that was a really cool statement that stuck out to
Yeah, I
me.
think I think what it is I hear more. It's hard to explain. I hear like more their inner spirit. For example, if
Mhm.
somebody's like truly happy, you hear in their spirit when they're talking, and that's what I hear. When I hear somebody that puts me in a good mood. Like for example, when I go to one of my doctor's appointment, I hear the receptionist in the front. I can tell she's having a bad day. It's like, oh, okay, hopefully her day gets better. But when I go and I hear them actually happy and laughing, and I can hear it in their spirit, that puts me in a good mood.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna send you some links I was thinking of too. I know Eliza mentioned it too, but there's different TV stations too, like 700 Club, like just like a bunch that take like I Am Second. I love their stories. They're so inspiring. Just different links that maybe you could submit your story to, and you never know who's gonna pick it up. And uh, you know, I really feel like it belongs globally, like, and it will. I do believe it's gonna get there, you know? Don't worry, we can't see that fly. I see you, smacking.
It's making me look like a weirdo.
Like, no, but you know what's really cool is like, isn't it crazy? This is why I'm expanding or blowing him up a little bit so you guys could see. You guys wouldn't even be able to tell he's blind. Like with all the reconstruction and the operations that you have, you can't even tell. Like, your face, like everything looks good. Like you can't even tell. That's what's so crazy.
Well, I know, like with my face, my eyes were like bulging out. So when he reconstructed my face, he went through my eyes, my mouth, my nose, and my throat because he had enough. I don't see how girls like long eyelashes when you got flies trying to perch on them. Um, so
Oh man. This
so
guy's hilarious, guys. He's so funny, man, cracking jokes. I don't understand the long eyelashes. Sorry, no offense to all the ladies out there. I don't get it either.
no, you close your eyes and you can feel them on your cheek. You open them, they just get stuck in your eyebrows. It's
I always feel like if I'm on a date or something, it's gonna fall in my soup or like fall off. Yeah, I feel like I always have something in my eye when I tried them. I'm not a fan of the eyelashes. I don't know how people could do them so long or the long nails. Do you like long nails?
honestly, I like whatever my wife likes.
Oh, whatever you're that's a good answer. That's a good answer. I gotta get you on a relationship show, man. You gotta talk to some of these guys out here. So you're saying all the right answers when it comes to women, except when you said your wife drugged you, and that's how you ended up with 9 kids. Except that.
Morphine and Viagra. I plead the fifth.
Morphine and Viagra. Oh my gosh. Oh man, he's a joker. Yeah, you know, you're funny. But I will definitely get you on another show. I know we got to wrap up here. I definitely don't want to wrap up. I want to continue, but I actually have a raid in 45 minutes, so I have to reset all my equipment here in my Oprah scene. This is my living room scene, guys, over here, and I got to reset it back in my other room. I have another room where I have to reset all my equipment back. But I want to have you back on my show again, and we could just chop it up too. It'd be great to have you back.
Yeah, I would love to be back.
So why don't you just share before we I'm going to raid into DJ Jonah, you guys. He's helped me out tremendously. He's a mod of mine too. He's got a soul raid going on. So we're going to raid into that. And then I'm on at 9:00. So I got to scramble. We're going to be playing some soul music. But why don't you tell people your shows and what days you're on and what kind of vibe you bring so they could check you out, and make sure everyone on all these channels that's tuned into my voice right now, make sure you're adding here it is, DJ Seen No Evil 209. And if you feel like blessing him, you guys, and his family, which I think if we all do together, it would be great. So here's his Twitch channel here. If you feel like blessing him, then go to Vimo or Cash App and just, definitely bless his family and do that. Anything you can give. I think that would be really, really sweet and awesome. So yeah, go ahead and share your shows and what they're about and the days you're on as well.
Well, the ones that I used to be on Jammy Jams Monday and Tuesday Vibes and Freestyle Addicts. far as I know, I'm not too sure about those, if I'm still on those, but I know I am on Odie Session, which happens to be my favorite rate train because, like I said, since I was 9 years old, I got blessed with some vinyls and collections that I still have, and that's my favorite music, oldies, oldies and soldies. So that is happened to be my favorite rate train, even though Funk It Fridays, um, I brought, well, with a lot of help, through DJ Tonga Kid, Rob G Funk, Tricarius J, and all the DJs that are on there that helps me. Godfather Love, every DJ honestly that gets on it is actually helping me. So I appreciate that. But Funky Fridays I brought because through the lowrider communities, some of the people from the lowriders, they asked if you get a day of funk, we'll start getting on. So that's actually a big part of my rate train that uh that we run as a team. I don't like taking sole credit that we run as a team. The DJs on there that we run as a team. And yeah, as of right now, the for sure ones that I'm on is the Odie session on Wednesday and Funk It Fridays.
All right, awesome. So make sure you guys check him out, support him, you guys. It's really he has such great song selection. He's got that West Coast vibe I love. He makes me want to buy a lowrider. Okay, he makes me want to buy that, or like definitely a motorcycle or something. Go to a car show. But the West Coast vibe, like I love it. I'm definitely digging it. So make sure you guys are adding him. I hope you learned more about him as well. I'm going to bring him back on my show, again. And his show is really interesting, just watching and seeing how he navigates. I'll try to not put too many long novels in your show because I know it might be kind of hard. I don't want to interrupt it. Uh, but don't feel like you have to respond. Sometimes you're just chatting with people in your room, right? So,
Yeah. Well, it depends. Like if my wife's here or is here, and they tell me when somebody's asking me something or talking to me in my chat, they'll tell me on the walkie-talkie.
okay. And keep us posted on your health as well. DM me, keep in touch, just keep me posted. I'm not sure if you know who Father Damien is. He's a house DJ that's a priest on Twitch. He's super dope and uh, definitely gives corny, funny jokes. But we will definitely, I'll mention for him to keep you in his prayers too. And he'd be a good resource to a really great guy to get around because he gets DJing and everything else. And a lot of DJs message him and talk to him as well. So, like, kind of man to man, that sort of thing, right? But he'd be a great guy to kind of link up with. Oh, yeah, Tricurious mods for Father Damien. Okay. And Tricurious mods for you as well, right?
Right. Yeah, Jack
Oh,
Curious he's I call him my triple OG super mod.
yeah, he is a super mod. All these mods in the room are super mods. I can't even mod.
Yeah,
Figure
actually,
it out.
a couple, about 2, 3, which I want to keep going at least once a month, if possible, if not every other month. Have just a special day on my Funky Fridays, just mod appreciation day. Because honestly, without the mods, they're the true hosts. They keep the rate trains flowing smoothly as much as possible in your chat
Yeah.
room.
Oh, they definitely do. Shout out to all the power mods and all my mods that have helped me out. I feel so lost uh, when they're not here because, I'm like, oh man, I'm not very good at modding at all. Um,
I think
yeah,
I would be a good mod.
yeah, yeah. You would be a good mod. I think you would because you can answer all the comments in the room better than I can. I can see and I miss all of them. So I missed all you guys. Sorry, I'll catch you in the replay. So, but yeah, it was great connecting with you. Make sure again, you guys are adding DJC No Evil
And,
209.
and everybody that's on, uh, of course, I got my own that video. You can find it on my YouTube channel, DJ See No Evil. It's under the 911 dispatch today. Changed my life forever, I believe. Uh, but DJ Honeyflow also got a YouTube channel as well under DJ Honeyflow. And then And you can catch, if not, the replay, if not on here, on her Twitch, you can also catch it on her YouTube as well.
Yeah, YouTube or Facebook under DJ Honeyflow. You guys could catch it, but you'll see most of the comments on Twitch. If you guys go to Twitch, I think that's the main platform where you see all the comments. So I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you so much for coming on with me. I really think from the bottom of my heart, you are such an awesome person. And honestly, it is so refreshing to meet someone like you in this industry, like for real, for real. You know, just even today are really going to change like the direction of my shows. And that's why I was so excited to have you on. It's great talking about accolades and achievements and all these grand things we do in entertainment, but really, I think the heartbeat of my show that I want moving forward is to bring inspirational stories and more faith-based stories and stories that matter. Because whether you're in entertainment or not, whether you're a viewer or a streamer, it's like there's so many people going through stuff that no one really knows, you know? So I want to kind of bring that back again. And I was really excited about your interview and your story and really intrigued by it. And yeah, you just are such a stand-up guy and give me a lot of inspiration as well, and others in the room too, to know that they could push forward when they feel like giving up, or if they're going through a trial or a hardship, to know that you can still keep going, right? And yeah, and you definitely have that special gift in you, so keep going. And I can't wait like for your blessing or your miracle or something. I really do believe something special is going to happen for you, so yeah, so thank you for coming on my show.
Thank you. I appreciate you having on. And honestly, my blessings or some, special has happened to me just for my kids to succeed. That would be my biggest blessings, honestly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Most people say so many different things, but everything you said today really, really hit the heart as well. So keep going. I'm definitely going to have you on. I think even for a relationship show, I think that would be fun. I think we could pull a lot of jokes out of you too. So I'm going to try to put you on for something like that. Yeah. So we are going, guys. We're going to support DJ J Jonah's raid. I got a race because after we're going to go to DJ Boogeyman. He's a great DJ as well. He's playing some soul classics. And then in about half an hour, then I'm on. I don't know if I should have done back-to-back shows, but I guess I'm doing them tonight. So you'll see me on my other page, DJ Honeyflow Music. I'm going to switch over to that page. So go to that page. Feel free to follow me. That's my DJ page. This is the talk page. And thank you guys for coming through to this interview and listening to his story. And again, if you feel like blessing him, then just definitely hit that link. If you could talk to an organization, if you're out there and you could talk to people that maybe public speak in different areas where you can get him booked, whatever we can do to be a blessing to his family, let's kind of pool some ideas together. If you want to join a raid train, let's talk about it off record and try to make it happen for him and his family. So thank you guys. Bless up to each and every one of you guys for coming through. We're going to raid DJ Boogeyman right now. And stay in the room for like 2 minutes, 5 minutes. It really encourages a streamer as well, guys. Oh, shoot. It says action cannot be complete. No. Why can't this action be complete? I don't know. I don't know if I have anyone in the room that could help me raid. Why is this not raiding? Yeah, it keeps saying this action cannot be complete. Does anyone know why I can't raid out? Let me know. Okay, we're going to try this again. DJ Boogeyman. Let's see here. I don't know if his settings, I think he might have to switch it to less than 30. Oh, no, actually, no. He doesn't have to switch it less than 30 days. Let's see. Jonah, are you? Oh, I see DJ Jonah in the room. It's his raid. Jonah, we're trying to raid into your raid. Is there any way you could try raiding for me? Yeah, it could be DJ Boogeyman settings. That's what I thought because I've been having problems with it. So if one of my mods, if they're in the room, I just saw Jonah in here. I don't know if he's actually in here. If you could try rating, that would be good. And while I'm setting this up, is there anything you want to say to anyone that's listening to you or to us?
I appreciate everybody that's on. I really do. I truly appreciate everybody. I know I say it all the time, but it's because I mean it all the time. And I do want to give a shout out to my super mod. He helps me out a lot. DJ Tonga Kid. I mean, the list goes on. Rob G Funk and DJ 310 SoCal, because he's the one that introduced me to Twitch and actually got me on Twitch. And it took a minute. It took a couple weeks for him to get me on Twitch, but he finally got me on from YouTube onto Twitch. And just everybody, I thank you to everybody that's on listening. I appreciate you.
All right. Awesome. Okay. I think it's rating now. See, this is why I'm not good as a mod. Shout out to all the mods. You guys rock. And all the mods that have helped me on my show. I think I put in the right person, hopefully. If not, we're going to DJ Boogeyman, I believe. So if you guys miss it, I'm just trying to punch it in because it's spelled a little bit differently. Let me post it here. So if you guys miss the raid train, we're going to DJ. That's his name right there, DJ Boogeyman. So stick around, guys, even for like 5 minutes. Support him, and I'll be on. I'm going to switch all my equipment super fast, like Superman or Superwoman, changing in and out of a phone booth. And well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all this in half an hour, but I'm going to try. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Tricurious. Thank you for helping me. I appreciate it. Did I get that right? Yeah. Thank you guys for coming through again. Make sure you guys are following DJ See No Evil, and bless up to all you guys. Thanks for coming through and listening today. We'll see you guys on the other side and in about half an hour on my other page. All right. So it looks like it just raided out. We're going to try to re-raid again. And because sometimes it leaves people behind.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why it does that on the
Yeah,
bus.
I know it rated out. I think Kim's phone. I can hear her phone music playing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sometimes I raid like 2 or 3 times because then it leaves quite a few people behind. I don't know why it does that, but it does that on Twitch. Okay, 3 times is a charm. We're going to try it one more time, and I think we're good. Wow, I can't believe 2.5 hours, like how fast this went. It's crazy. So
Ooh, yeah, that was fast. Don't even seem that long.
It was super fast. I'm going to bring you back on again. So yeah, thank you so much for coming on my show, sharing your story. You're awesome. And I'm definitely going to bring you back again. And maybe I'm going to convince your wifey to come on with me too, so we could get the real tea. Yeah. All right. So I will see you. I'll definitely give you a call. Hopefully this week we could talk about some of the other things. And
Okay, cool.
yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
if you keep it, and then if you got WhatsApp, because I know you're in Toronto, Canada, correct? So I know like one of the guys, he's in Germany, another one in Rico Radio in the Netherlands. They contact me through WhatsApp. This way they don't get no roaming charges or anything like that.
okay. Yeah. I'll add you. I have long distance, but I'll add you on
Oh,
WhatsApp.
okay.
Oh, geez. What am I doing here? Yeah. I'll add you on WhatsApp as well. That
Okay,
sounds
cool.
good. All right. Well, have a great night. Bless up to you. Keep in touch, and we'll definitely talk as
All right,
well.
you too. God bless,
Okay.
and
God bless.
I'll hear you later.
Okay. Take
All right,
care.
you
See
too.
ya.
Bye.
Bye.